Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. Welcome to Amazing Islam. This is the 10th volume, and in this volume we will discuss enlightenment and the types of afflicted persons. I think everyone wants to be enlightened. Nobody deliberately wants to believe in untruth, but still it takes a special, guided type of person to realize that the truth, obvious as it may be, requires one to reach beyond perception, requires revelation, requires faith in the fact that the more we think we know, the more we should realize that we actually do not know much. But to reach enlightenment, it takes patience, perseverance, and guidance. It takes persistence and humility. It comes to you when you deserve it. You cannot demand it or even expect it. It can occur in this life or it may occur in the afterlife. ولو أنهم صبروا حتى تخرج إليهم لكان خيرا لهم والله غفور رحيم. And if they had patience until you could come out to them, it would be better for them. The Bedouin tribes surrounding Mecca were not mature in understanding. When they used to come to the meetings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were rude, arrogant, and immodest. The above ayah tells them to be humble, modest, and respectful to the Prophet. After the death of the Prophet, his guidance still stands in his place. This divine guidance requires obedience and solemnity, just as obedience and respect was required during his lifetime. Fear of God makes a person serious. If fear of God really enters a person's heart, he or she will come to know automatically all those realities of which others remain unaware in spite of being informed of them. But of course, there will always be persons who reject revelation, reject enlightenment, or even the existence of God. Imam Ghazali says these persons are afflicted by a sickness of the heart. There are four types of afflicted persons: the one with malicious envy, the unintelligent, the selfish person who lacks patience, and the one who wants to know the truth but is currently unable to realize it. The first three are incurable. It is useless to try to convince them, except maybe by praying for them. The fourth afflicted person, who genuinely wants to know the truth but is currently blinded, may be curable. It is not only reasonable to engage in discussion with that person, but almost an obligation, a requirement. The afflicted person can be Muslim or non-Muslim. The Muslim person who stretches or distorts Islam or Hadith or revelation to promote his selfish or destructive goals, sometimes due to lack of understanding and sometimes for personal gain, is just as bad as the non-Muslim who is either malicious or unintelligent or impatient and only concerned with acquisition of material wealth, status, or power. Let us see what Imam Ghazali has to say about enlightenment and those who have a sickness in their hearts. Accept this advice from Khidr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. فَلَا تَسْأَلْنِي عَنْ شَيْءٍ حَتَّى أُحْدِثَ لَكَ مِنْهُ ذِكْرًا. Do not ask me anything unless I bring it up myself. Do not hasten. When the time is right, you will be taught and shown. سَأُرِيكُمْ آيَاتِ فَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ. We will show you our qualities very soon. So in this, do not hasten. So do not inquire prematurely. When you arrive at the threshold of enlightenment, you will see it. Just be certain that if you do not travel towards the destination, you cannot reach it, nor will you realize it. Just be certain that if you do not travel towards the destination, you cannot reach it, nor will you realize it. أَوَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَيَنْظُرُوا. Did they not traverse the earth so that they could see everything? O son, by God, if you illuminate your heart, you will uncover amazing, wondrous things. Be ready to put your life at stake at every crossroads. Otherwise, there is no other way to achieve your goal. Hazrat Dunnun Misri told one of his students a very profound thing. If you can risk your life in the path, come, don't just be moved without action by the Sufis' romanticist ideals. Here I will discuss one benefit. You should know that to ask a question about a dilemma is like divulging the symptoms of an ailment to a physician of the heart. For the physician, trying to cure a disease is akin to trying to resolve a question. Be certain that the ignorant person is like the afflicted person who has a sickness in his heart, and the scholar is like the physician or apothecary. A weak scholar is not capable of being that physician, but an able scholar is capable of healing the disease by uncovering the signs and symptoms of the disease. But if the sickness persists and its characteristics are confusing, then one should consult an expert physician who can tell you whether there is no cure for the ailment or if there is no herb or medication that will get rid of that ailment. This type of incurable disease is a waste of effort and time. Now understand this. The ignorant person is of four types. One is curable. The others are hopeless. One afflicted person is the one who asks a question or objects out of jealousy. Jealousy is a deadly disease that does not have a cure. Just realize that no matter what you say, even if your point is the most reasonable, the jealous person will view you as an enemy, and the fire in his jealousy will become more intense. So don't even try. A poet once said in this regard, every conflict can be resolved, but if the root of conflict is jealousy, then resolution is impossible. So the only best solution is to leave that person mired in the ailment of jealousy. فأعرض عن من تولى عن ذكرنا ولم يرد إلا الحياة الدنيا. Avoid the person who, out of jealousy, turns his face away from our word and seeks nothing but the comforts of this world. Another afflicted person is the one whose symptom is caused by stupidity. This is incurable. Hazrat Isa alayhi salam has stated that I, through divine intervention, succeeded in reviving the dead, but I failed in curing the disease of the ignorant and the idiotic. Jesus, may Allah be pleased with him, stated, I, through divine intervention, succeeded in reviving the dead, but I failed in curing the disease of the ignorant and the idiotic. The ignorant idiot is the person who spends very little time in acquiring knowledge and has barely begun to study the sciences, the rational, and the revelation, but he is quick to object upon established scholars who have spent their entire lives in the learning of the sciences, the rational, and the revelation. He does not even realize that his objection falls heavily upon himself, others like him, and also on lesser scholars. Learned scholars must find his objections difficult to stomach. He doesn't even know that his criticism of the learned scholar is worthless and a waste. The thoughtful depth of the learned scholar was never properly understood by him, by lesser scholars, and by others like him. If he is unaware of this, then this is his naivete and idiocy. Stay away from people like him and don't bother trying to convince him. The third afflicted person is the one who is restless and impatient, and because of this is unable to comprehend the ideology of the learned scholar and is confident in his ignorance and only understands that which profits him. Such a person is naive and unintelligent, and his mind is unable to grasp the truths. It's not necessary to engage in discussion with such a person Because the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, prophets have been asked to reveal those things to people that is at the level of their intellect. The fourth afflicted person is the one that is in pursuit of the straight path, who is obedient, pure, and wise, and who lacks anger, lust, jealousy, and the desire to accumulate wealth. So, a person like this, who is searching for the true path and authentic way, and who asks a question or makes an objection, but not out of jealousy or deviation, or solely for the purpose of criticism, such a person is afflicted, but he or she can be cured. And therefore, to confer with such a person is not only reasonable, but obligatory. This is the end of this volume of Amazing Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. See you next time.